So Sarah Morris, who's standing in Isle of Wight East for Reform UK. Welcome to the Isle of Wight Observer. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Have you been up to anything recently, Sarah?
Just a little bit. It's been a little bit busy.
What have you been up to?
Well, apart from doing all the hustings and all the interviews and all that kind of stuff, just being out. We've been going around businesses, taking letters to people, making sure that everyone's had their leaflets. Obviously, I did my own election address as well, so just ordering those, making sure, getting them, reboxing them, to take them back to Southampton to make sure Royal Mail could deliver them. It's just emails, questions, Facebook, social media, everything. I've been very, very busy. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant fun.
Big learning curve.
Just a little bit. I'll be perfect next time.
Well, so on July the 5th, are we going to wake up to find that Sarah Morris MP is representing Isle of Wight East?
Well, with the feedback that I've been getting out on the street, I honestly do think so. I know everyone's like, don't get your hopes up, don't get your hopes up. I only did stand because there was no one else I wanted to vote for, and I thought there were probably people out there like me that they didn't know which way to turn, couldn't really vote Labour, Conservative, all Green, and Lib Dems, well, are they going to get enough votes? Reform they aligned with me, their values aligned with me, and I do think that they're definitely resonating with the rest of a lot of the country at the moment. You go out on the street, we're only going down the businesses, and as you're going into the businesses and coming back out to the next one, people in the street are coming over and actually asking for leaflets. They're like, oh, you Reform? Amazing. Can we have a poster? Can we have a leaflet? The people we've had out canvassing with us, they haven't done it before, and they've never canvassed for any party before, but they've come out to help me, and they've absolutely loved it. They think it's brilliant. They've gone in a little bit timid sometimes, thinking what kind of response we're going to get, and they've just come out and gone, we've got another one. Can you come back this way? Because she wants to shake your hand, or they want to say hello to you, or it's been really, really lovely. I'm really happy.
Well, I think you're probably number 9 of the people that we've spoken so far, and I think most of them are going to be the MP, so it's going to be busy up on that. You can get a bus up to Parliament.
We could share the job, but we'd get more done.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the rest of them want to share the wages, but.
So what made you think that you would? Why do you want to be an MP? What makes you think you'd be a good MP?
I've never thought about being an MP, to be honest, but I do. Ever since I had the post office, I have really enjoyed helping people. I've always.
Where was your post office?
Down the corner of Simmons Street and Moulton Street, so the old Strand post office. And you used to see people coming in all the time, and if they haven't got anyone else to ask, they could ask you. They felt that you were trusted, so you could help them with filling in forms or how to go about things to do with their life and their finances and that kind of thing. And you find out a hell of a lot about the way society works and what people think and what's going right and what's going wrong. And I really loved it. I really liked being the person people came to. And then after that, obviously, I just like speaking to people and doing things front-facing. So I had a bed and breakfast for a little while, and we ran a carvery, and it was just lovely, still interacting with everybody. When my kids were growing up, I was always part of the PTA and really active doing things there, just so I could help out. And I've run charity events, that kind of thing. I started my own scooter club. I've always been busy and try something new. And then the last few years, the people in charge have just let us down really badly, and it really highlighted to me just what was going wrong and that we need better people to do it. And just because I feel like I might feel like I haven't done it before and I haven't got the qualifications, but I really feel the people that are running the country at the moment aren't doing a very good job, and I don't see that I can't do it better. I think I really, really can.
Good. And you mentioned your family. What you've got? Children?
Yeah, I've got two children. So my daughter Shannon is she's just gone off to university to do biomedicine and she's down at Brighton. And then my son is doing sixth form. He's doing A-levels at the moment, and he's doing law, history and sociology. So I'm kind of hoping he's going to take an apprenticeship and do that route, because I do think there are some courses you need to go to university for, but obviously reforms policies as well. There are some courses at university that you can get a massive amount of student debt for, and they don't really qualify you in the workplace as such. So I'm hoping you'll be able to get an apprenticeship.
And are they supportive or are they embarrassed by mum?
I think initially they're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? But Ryan, I do think the younger people are really, really keen on reform, and Nigel Farage especially. I suppose the celebrity thing the Celebrity Jungle did a good job. but they're really popular on TikTok. So every so often he's coming down and going, look, have you seen this? Have you seen that? And it's really nice that and his friends are like, oh, that's your mum, that kind of. I don't think they're so. Initially, I think they were a bit concerned, but now definitely not. And Shannon, especially, she's down in Brighton. She's met a few people on the train, and just in conversation, they end up talking about reform. She's like, oh, my mum's standing for that. Oh my God, brilliant, well done. So it's a really nice thing, yeah.
Good. So, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing the Isle of Wight?
Well, I do think it's carrying on the same way that we are with central government, because everything is connected. People's happiness is connected to the way they feel about their own country and how they're interacting with their family and their finances and everything. And it just feels like we on the island, we struggle with housing, we struggle with low wages, we struggle with the ferries, but it's because that no one's really looking at how we are living day to day. They're quite happy making their decisions and having their contracts and lining their own. That's how I honestly feel. I feel like they're looking after themselves, the people that are in power at the moment. And we need people to speak up and not be afraid to say what they really feel and actually go and fight for people, because it feels like they're there, sat, taking a wage, voting how they're told, and sometimes they don't even vote. I think that's really wrong. They shouldn't be allowed to abstain, and they shouldn't take the whip either. I think I've been asked before, would it be party first or island first? It's definitely island first. I don't. If it goes against the party, I then stand as independent, because I do feel like the island is. It needs good representation. It needs someone that's going to speak up for them, and I don't feel like we've had that so far. Sorry, Bob.
Well, I think people will certainly be able to see that you'll be able to speak up for them.
I honestly, I do feel like I'd be a good advocate. I wouldn't let go. I'd just keep knocking on everybody's door until, even if Bob got in the other side, I would just make sure that I had his contacts were then my contacts. I'd make sure that whatever he hadn't asked for before, I would then be asking for, and I wouldn't let it go. I'd just keep going and going until I got the answers that I don't give up easy.
I've seen you on the campaign trail, and it is. You certainly do not give up easily.
No, but it's really good because it's ever so positive. So you do end up, you meet somebody and they're not quite sure, and you come out with literally just 2 or 3 policies of reform. They're like, well, that's it. You've got my vote, definitely, because we're offering something real, something that's actually positive, good policies that people really want. The other ones, they're sort of wish-washy. Labour, we might not tax you on these 4 things. But we're taxed in like 20 other different ways, and they won't guarantee they're not going to put up those taxes. So I just feel like they're disingenuous when they give their promises out. Nigel Farage and Reform have definitely got a vision for the country, and it's common sense politics. It's just, you go back in, ask the nurses how the NHS should be run, you ask police how the police force should be run, you ask people on the street how much tax they want to pay. You need to run the country that way.
If you were the MP, and this is something we've asked all the candidates, every year they have a private members ballot, and the person who wins the ballot gets to choose a new law. However, it's a law that doesn't cost anything to implement.
Oh, blimey.
So what would the law that Sarah Morris would think of introducing be?
Oh, that's really, really difficult.
It is.
Because, in general, I really don't like being told what to do.
So no laws?
I'd find it really difficult. I think I like the idea of common law, where you just do no harm to other people and their property. I think we're being told that you can't, I don't know, you look at the last few years, you're only allowed to exercise for 30 minutes and then you get a fine, and now they're saying that they're going to wipe all those fines and decriminalise everybody that was do something during the COVID thing. And I just think we over-stipulate, and then the laws, people find ways around them, and like even with the tax rules, they find ways around them. You should actually be genuinely just fair and true to yourself and true to other people, and be. I don't like making laws. I don't.
Well, I think that would be a popular answer. I wouldn't introduce a new law if I had the chance.
Would a new law, would that be we have to get rid of the House of Lords? Could I do that?
I'm not sure.
Or a new law that says absolutely no more taxes ever?
that definitely would cost the government.
Yeah, no, maybe.
Is there anything you disagree with your party on?
I don't think you can agree with everybody about everything ever. And sometimes I felt like maybe Richard said something that I'm not 100% sure with that. Nigel, I'm not 100% sure. But then Ben Habib will come out with, yeah, that's my view. And then other times somebody, but they will all listen. And then I think Ben has a word with Richard and Nigel, and they will all talk and they will all listen. And I don't think any of them are opposed to taking on other people's viewpoints. So it doesn't feel like, well, this is it and that's it and this is the party line, because actually they understand that everybody's got a different view, and you've got to have different views to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So yes, maybe sometimes, but in general, like I say, you can't always agree on everything. And in general, reform are definitely my party at the moment. How I feel.
And how have you been getting on with the other candidates in Isle of Wight?
It's been really nice. Every so often there's like a little bit of an odd comment. You think, it's getting a bit nasty. I'm not sure if I want to be in this room. But in general, everybody on that, everyone that's standing in East Wight that I've met at the hustings, they've all got the Isle of Wight in their heart, I think. And I do believe that we all just want the best for the island. So it doesn't. I just think I'd be able to. I just think I would be the best one to make sure it got done. That's all. I've got no preconceived ideas about how it's going to happen. Whatever. I'm just going to go in there and just make as much noise as I can and make sure that Who do I ask then? Just keep going.
Yeah. So you've been on the campaign trail now for more than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And when did you decide to stand?
It was quite a long time ago now, about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was a long time that I first put my name forward to reform, and then we had to do a few interviews, that kind of thing. And and then obviously we've sort of been announced as candidates a couple of times, but obviously until you've got your papers in, you're not the candidate, are you?
No.
So, but it has been a long time coming.
So has there been anything funny or odd or amusing that's happened while you've been out on the hustings, or campaigning, or?
I don't know, a couple of people have asked if Joe is the other reform candidate because the colour of the blue on his signs and the fact that it doesn't really say Conservative, I thought that was a bit odd. And then we've had a couple of people saying, you're so popular, I don't understand how you're 66 to 1, and then I'm going to put a bet on and then cover my van with your face. I don't know, it's been really nice, really happy and lovely, and yeah.
So, and you're looking forward to 5 years down the line?
Well, that's what people keep saying. Well, are you going to, if you don't get this, you're going to, and I would stand for local council. I would stand under reform because I do think that their values are good, and so obviously if this doesn't happen, I will stand for council when that comes around. Obviously if I get the MP position, then great. But I will stand again in 5 years' time, unless somebody else comes forward for East Wight and they decide that, and the party or the members decide that they're the better option. But at the moment, it's me.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Sarah. Enjoy the rest of your campaign. I know you've been enjoying it so far.
Busy.
I've watched you.
I know. I was just keep going, oh my God, where have I got to be next? It's
Well,
great.
best of luck.
Thank you.